We are still going on with the questions. Remember, I told you every month we are going to have one session of Q&A where you have those unanswered questions. We take time to read through the comments and we get back to you. Those unanswered questions, maybe you are still waiting for the video and you have watched all the videos. You are not seeing the solution to your problem. Always hit us with those questions in our comment section. I'm still Grace Bwogi, once again from Bwogi Farms, located in Uganda. So our Q&A goes on. Nelson asks, I have eye infections in my goat farm. How do I control them? What brings them? He's devastated with the eye infections. Yes, eye infections may be devastating, but there's a way you can control them. One of the things that brings eye infections, did you know that our goats get allergies just like human beings, especially when it is too windy, when it is too cold. So the allergies come because of the coldness, because of the poor hygiene, etc. Also, the eye infections come up depending on where you're grazing your goats from. If the place where you're grazing, especially us on free range, they usually have pox, thorns, the grasses, especially the dry season, they poke their eyes. So you find your goat is tearing. Are we together? Sometimes they do fight. They fight and then they hit each other. So there are quite a number of things that cause eye infections. But how do you handle an eye infection so that does not, the eye of the goat does not turn white? So first things first, this is what you do. Every morning, pass through your goat. This is a routine we always do at our farm. Check through your goats. Usually when a goat is about to fall sick, or the eye is about to fall sick, it has tears strolling. It has a line of tears on the eye. And then from that stage, it usually has white stuff. In our language, our native language here, we call it ebijonjo. Others, they call it ebihonzi. But that white thing you always see here on the eyes, around here, sometimes it covers the entire eye. And then the third step after that, the black thing, they call it a pupil. The pupil turns from black to white. Now that is the worst stage for you to handle. Usually, if you have not managed them well, most of these goats go blind. So for you, if the first steps, especially if it still has the horns, the white stuff, and the tears coming out of the eye, that is the first time for you to apply antibiotics. And within 3 to 4 days, your goats will have healed. I will not mention the particular kind of antibiotics, but consult your veterinary official. They will always help you on this. And also maybe apply some powder. When you look through my videos, I think the natural herbs on how to combat some of the problems, I put in some of the things you can use to help your goats heal from eye infections, like mixing tobacco and aloe vera. You can drop it in the eyes. You can mix a little bit of salt in warm water and wash the eyes if you don't have so many goats. That's all I can say about that lesson. And then some other person asked, my goats have cough a lot even after deworming. Some of you are wondering, why are your goats coughing? Actually, sometimes when you have random coughing on your herd, it's not a sign that your goats are sick. Maybe they are coughing because they are trying to clear their throats, okay? But sometimes if you notice so many animals are coughing on your farm, you need to involve a veterinary official. But some of the things that lead to goats coughing, it may be to high worm burden. He mentions it dewormed. Sometimes we are having drug resistance in our deworming schedules as farmers. This is where a veterinary official is needed on your farm. Sometimes you may be deworming wrongly. Sometimes it could be because of pneumonia. It could be because of coldness. Are we together? So there are quite a number of things that may lead to your goats coughing. But if you involve a vet, I really believe this problem will be no more to your farm, but at least I've given you an indicator of why your goats are always coughing. Another person in Nigeria has asked, why do my goats have lots and lots of diarrhea? Why? Goats don't speak. So when a goat has diarrhea, they are trying to speak to you that I'm dying from inside. Some of the things that cause diarrhea, this diarrhea usually happens, it could be due to coccidiosis. It could be due to a high worm burden in your goats. It could be maybe the kind of feeds you are giving to them, and maybe it is causing the diarrhea. Maybe it is too watery, or maybe it has an infection. It can cause diarrhea. So how do you stop diarrhea? I would still insist, if you're having diarrhea in your goats, especially the babies and the adults, involve a veterinary official. I, for one, I know what to do because I've done this thing for over 10 years. I know, I can tell, you can easily tell that this kind of diarrhea, if it is this color, if it is color red, chances are high this goat is having coccidiosis in its stomach. If it is color white, if for example the baby is, it means this baby is taking in too much milk. But if you look through our videos, there's a video where I mentioned why do you goats have diarrhea, and I also gave you some of those workable solutions. You can always go back and check them out. Our last question, this person has asked about tick resistance. He's asking, he's always spraying his goats on a weekly basis, but the ticks have failed to die or they keep coming back. Okay, what you should know, depending on each environment, there are different types of ticks you have. So you need to know which type of ticks and which kind of caricide are you using. And then how is your mixing ratio of the caricide? I've been to farms where they say this acaricide was manufactured in Jordan, and they say you have to mix 20 mils of the acaricide in 20 liters of water. And then, being Africans as we are, somebody says, no, I'm going to mix 40 mils. Maybe the acaricide, they made it for Jordan. Their animals don't live under harsh conditions as ours. So instead of the 20 mils that is prescribed on the bottle, you mix 40 mils or 60 mils. Already you are overdoing something. In the long run, those ticks may be resistant. Then also how you apply, how do you spray your goats during the spraying of the goats you're doing weekly? How often do you do it? And when do you do it? Sometimes we spray our goats and immediately after you have sprayed them, it rains on them. It means all the acaricide is washed away. And sometimes how we mix, basically what I've seen on some farms, I move on so many farms, sometimes I advise, sometimes I just look on. You know, there are very big-headed farmers that you cannot even advise, and you just look on and let it be. Where they mix acaricide in a barrel, and then every time the acaricide is less, they keep topping up with some medicine, topping up with some medicine. Basically, if they started with 20 mils in 20 liters, and the water has remained with the acaricide has remained with 10 mils, 10 liters, they add on another 15, depending on how much water they are going to add. That is the wrong way of doing things. If you are having a tick resistance on your farm, the best you can do is invite National Drug Authority if you're in Uganda, or involve a qualified veterinary official to advise you on what kind of acaricide to use. Remember, these acaricides have classes. If you have been using an acaricide from class A, that the vet may advise you to go to class B or to class C, depending on how dim he fits it for you as a farmer. Hope you are getting something out of our Q&A, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to watch some of our ads so that we can earn something out of this, so that we can keep giving you these videos and you learn and you benefit out of goat farming, just like how we are benefiting out of it. That's all I had for you as Bwogi. I'm still Bwogi Grace from Bwogi Farms, found in only Uganda. I've had scenarios where people are telling me, we have seen signposts of Bwogi Farms in other districts. Do you have other branches? No, we don't have any branches outside Rakai. We only have one branch here, and it's not easy to open up branches outside the other branches, especially for livestock. Managing those the livestock in other branches may be so hard. Remember, labor in Uganda is quite hard to get, and to get people to trust to do for you everything, it is proving to be so hard in our Uganda and in Africa as a whole.